So welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the easiest and best cold email setup guide in 2024. This is going to be the simplest and cheapest and easiest video you're ever going to watch on emails and how to actually set it up. So there's no cheaper way than doing this, and I've been in your position before, so I know how it feels. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube that are way too complicated, so what I wanted to do was just make this really quick 20-minute video that is going to explain everything you need to know and nothing you don't need to know. So yeah, everything in this video is imperative to making sure that you set up your emails correctly. And let me just quickly explain the process of sending cold emails. So 90% of the battle is just making sure that it arrives into the inbox of your prospects, because you could have the best offer in the world, you could have the best copywriting in the world, but if your prospects aren't receiving it in their inbox, it isn't going to matter, right? So this is why it is 90% of the battle, and I truly mean that. So if you don't follow these steps, and if you don't watch this video, then it will land in the spam and no one will see your emails and it's going to suck. So let me just explain, and everything in this video is going to be step by step, and I'm actually going to be walking you through it on the websites, so you can literally follow along as you're buying domains and going through the process. So it's going to be really simple and easy to understand. Now, how this works is you need multiple domains if you want to send a lot of emails per day, because you can't just send. I wish it was this easy, right? If there was an easier way of going about it, I would have done it, right? So this is the easiest way, but you can't just buy a domain and then send 500 emails per day on that domain, because it's going to look suspicious, it's going to look spammy, and then what's going to happen is that domain reputation is going to get burnt out and it's going to get lowered to the point where you're going to start landing into the spam folder, which is not what we want. So we have to diversify the volume between multiple domains to actually get it to arrive in the inbox. So I'm going to be walking you through how to actually buy domains, how to essentially connect those domains to your email hosting platform, and then essentially how to set up the correct DNS records and warming up the emails. And all of this is crucial. I have not put anything in this document that you don't need to do, so please just keep watching. Now, the protocol for good deliverability hygiene, so making sure that emails arrive in the prospect's inbox, is to send no more than 60 emails per domain. And there's actually a 60 rule for other platforms as well. So like, for example, Instagram, you shouldn't be sending more than 50 or 60 DMs per day. Same with Facebook, and it's the same with emails. So if you want to send 500 emails per day, then you'll need about 10 domains. So sending more than 60 emails per domain will ruin the reputation of the domain, and it will become burnt out faster, leading to your emails going into the spam folder, which is not what we want. So just keep watching, and I'm actually going to buy the domains on the platform and then connect it and then warm it up and all that good stuff. So you can literally follow along. So let's dive into this. For buying domains, there are quite a few options, and just for those that don't know, a domain is essentially the end part of the email. So it could be charlie.com, it could be automation.com, but then the email would be charlie@charlie.com. So we need to buy the domain first, and then we'll get the email sorted. I always use GoDaddy. It's just the easiest and simplest, and that's what we're going to be using in this video. However, you can look into Namecheap and Google maybe, but I personally always use GoDaddy. So that's what we're going to be using. And I've put a few rules here, which I'll walk you through right now. So once you log into GoDaddy, which is really easy, you can just log in, create an account. You essentially just want to search for the domain that you want to buy. So let's just search for like automation. Let's say you want that as a domain. It's going to give you a bunch of options. Now, I always just recommend going for the cheapest one, because I've found personally that prospects don't really care about like the fancy ending. So you don't need .com, you don't need anything like that. Just go for XYZ, and that's what I would be doing. So just add it to your cart. You can see that it's going to go like that, and make sure you don't get domain protection, and make sure you don't buy the domain for more than a year in advance. And I've actually put some things here, so yeah, and don't worry about the fancy .com endings, which we've already covered. So once you've got your domain, you can now actually go into your products, and you will be able to see all of your domains in one place. So now what we can do is we can swiftly move on to the next part, and you can see how easy this is. We're just going to go through it really quickly. So it's going to be connecting domains to your email hosting platform. So now you should have a domain like charlie.com or whatever your, I don't know, business is called, company is called. But now we actually need to get an email to be able to send emails. So once you actually go to your domains, you'll be able to see all of them right here. So as you can see, I've got like 15 plus, but you would obviously only have like a couple or maybe one or two to start with. So now what we need to do is we essentially need to choose what we want to use as an email hosting platform. I recommend using Google Workspace or Microsoft 365. Each of them are very similar. They're both around $6 per user per month. So yeah, if you are sending 500 emails per day, then you're going to be looking at around $60 to $70 per month in fees. But I wouldn't be thinking about the cost, I'd be thinking about the results. And that is also how you should get your prospects to think on calls when you're trying to sell them something, right? So don't think about the cost, think about the results that you can be getting. Even if you get one appointment from 500 emails per day in a month, then it's probably worth the $60, because yeah, that's just how it works. So I'd personally recommend trying to make it work on the micro and then scaling up once you've got a proof of concept. So you can always start with just 1 or 2 domains, and then we get 1 or 2 users per domain, right? So let me show you step by step how to do this process. So we're going to be using Microsoft 365, and what you're going to do is you are essentially going to go to this domain right here. So you can just go onto Google and just search for like Microsoft admin portal, and you can see that it's the top link, and you basically just need to create an account really simply. And then once you log in and create an account, you should be able to go to domains. You can even search it in the top part, domains. And now just add a domain very simply. And you are just going to put in the domain that you just bought on GoDaddy. Like, that is how simple it is. So let's just go onto my products, and I'm just going to choose a one at random that I haven't added before. So let's try and take this one, and let's essentially just put this in and then use this domain. And you can see that it's basically going to make you verify it. So you basically just need to sign into GoDaddy. Sometimes it may make you do the like SPF and DKIM records to make sure to verify, but we can basically just click verify, and it's going to take me here. And in English, this basically means, you can see, just connect. So we're basically just connecting it to Microsoft to be able to send emails very simply. And it's just verifying the domain. Give it a second and just click continue. And once you let it wait, so now we just need to put these DNS records in really simply. All of these are really important, so we're just going to walk you through this now. So if we actually go into the one that we just used, so let's use DNS. Once you click on this, you basically just need to click on add new record right here, and you just need to copy this information in, right? So MX, and then this is the value. So we are just gonna click on this, click on MX. The name of it is, as you can see here, it's just @ symbol. So you can just click @ priority, just put this as, I don't think it actually says the priority, so we're just gonna put it as 1, and then value is obviously the value that it's giving you right here, and then the actual TTL is 1 hour, right? So we're basically just copying what it's given us, and then click on save. And I believe we've already added it, so it can't be done. But once you click on that, it will basically save it, and then you're good to go, right? So now you basically want to do this for all of them. So let's go to the next one, which is the SPF, extremely important. So yeah, you want to add TXT, put in the value of the SPF, and then you obviously want to make sure it's the @ and then the 1 hour, right? So we are basically just doing the instructions that it's given us. So just click continue and verify. So obviously I think I've already got my ones, but yeah, you would need to do this from scratch if you haven't already done this. And then the CNAME, so you'd basically get CNAME, and then you would put in that as the host name, so host name, and then this would be this, and then click save, and then obviously it would connect, right? So that immediately goes through these things right here, right? So SPF we've done, CNAME we've done. Now we need to do these 2 things, and those are like the only 2 things we need to do to make sure the DNS records are set up correctly. Now you do need to do this per domain, so every domain you buy, you would need to go through this process, but it's really easy and it should only take you 5 minutes. And once you've done it once, you can just replicate it really easily. So yeah, now you would basically just click add DNS records. I don't know if it's gonna do it for me because yeah, obviously I've already connected this before. But if you just let this load, it will basically allow you to click connect. Once again, I don't think it's going to allow me to do it, but if you do go through the process, it is a very easy process to actually do, right? So you can see that it's already done it. I don't know how because I haven't set it up, but yeah, just make sure you add those DNS records correctly, and you can see that we've got it right here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is essentially add the DKIM. So all you need to do is just search for it at the top. So just simply search for DKIM, and once you click on this, it may make you do a bit of security, but I'll just skip through this. Okay, perfect. So it should look like this, and you'll be able to see the domain that you connected. So as you can see, the one that we did is actually right here. So once you click on this, you'll be able to see that it will basically allow you to click on create DKIM keys. And once you click on this, it's actually going to give you some DNS records. So just like what we did to essentially connect it to Microsoft, we now just need to add this into the DNS, which you've already done. So it's pretty much the same, right? For the host name, you basically just want to put this as and make sure it's CNAME. So if we go here, which is the domain, just make sure you put CNAME. The name should be this, and then the value should be what it gives us here. So you can see the value is this, and then let's just go into here, and I believe the TTL, we can just have the TTL as 1 hour, doesn't really matter. So you'd click save, and then you'd basically do the same for this one. So select 2, make sure obviously you click save. You want to actually make sure it connects, but I've already done this, so I'm not gonna do that. But once again, you would add this here, and then you would click save. So perfect. Now you've done that. Let's just do cancel. You basically then want to just basically click on this once you've done it, and you may have to wait like an hour or two. So don't worry if this hasn't done yet. You can always come back to it later and just basically click on this enable button, and then you'll actually be able to get it verified by Microsoft. So now all that's left to do is basically get a user. So what you want to do is you essentially want to search for users at the top. So if we actually go into here, which is the original one, I just opened in a new tab, you can see that we can essentially go on to active users, and active users is where we're going to be creating emails for the domains. So you just need to repeat this each time you have a domain, so it will get quicker. It's not going to take this long once you do it, because you can speed run it and you obviously learn as you go. So it's actually really easy. Just click on add a user, first name, do Charlie, last name, obviously what you want, display name, and then just do the name that you want before the actual domain. And obviously the one that we added was this agencystart.co. So if you were to click next, I'm not going to do this because it would actually bill me, but once you click next, it is then actually going to have that as a as an email. So now you're good to go, right? You've actually got an email, and there's only one more thing you have to do, which is, let me just click cancel, let me do this, which is now just basically go onto Google and just search for DMARC generator, and you'll find that there's actually one that's free. So it's this one. So easydmarc, as you can see here, .com/tools/dmarc -record-generator. And what you basically want to do is just put in the domain. So if you remember, the one that we used was this one. For this, you can basically put none. You can just have that as the same one if you want, but you don't actually need to. You don't need to have this. Same with that, and just click generate. Actually, maybe you do need this. It should be a valid email. So obviously that was the one that we put before. So we didn't actually create it, but that's what we would have done. And then click generate. And you can see here that it's basically given us the actual thing. So all you need to do is, go back into the DNS, just add a record one more time, the final one, and just have this as, yeah, the value, which is obviously this. So value, you paste that in, and then the host would be this. And sometimes you don't even need to put the end part. You can just have it as underscore DMARC, and that's perfectly fine. Click save, and then you're good to go. You've created the DNS records, and you just do that each time per domain. So in summary, once you connect it to Microsoft, you automatically do the SPF, the CNAME, and the no, it's not DKIM, it's another one. And then obviously you just do the DKIM, which I've shown you, and then you just do the DMARC, which I've shown you right now. So it's only those like 3 or 4 things, and you just do that per domain, right? So you get quicker at it, but we've done all 4 of these, so let's tick that off. So now all you need to do is just warm up the domains, and this is the easiest part. You basically just want to use instantly or smartly.ai. And the reason I get asked why do you need to warm up domains, so I'll quickly explain. Imagine you're racing a Formula 1 car. What would happen if the drivers or you didn't do any warm-up laps and didn't warm up the tires, right? You would probably crash the car. So it's the same for emails. You can't just start sending hundreds of emails per domain straight away because it looks suspicious, right? You wouldn't create an Instagram account and just start sending hundreds of DMs per day, right? So it's the same thing, especially if the reply rate is low, which cold emails, it's going to be about 2 to 5%. Like, you can't get around that. So it looks very suspicious. If you're sending hundreds of emails, no one's responding. People like Google don't want you to have, like, they just don't want spammers on their platform. So what we need to do is we need to use like Instantly or SmartLead, which are softwares which use automation to essentially automatically send out a few emails per day to other people using the software, like Instantly or SmartLead, right? So it sends emails to people in the network back and forth to make sure that the reply rate is really high, and it starts small, then it starts sending more and more emails per day to make it look like you're a real person who has a real email. So this takes 14 days. That is how long the warm-up process is. And we use tools like Instantly, which we're going to be covering, or you could use SmartLead, but I just think Instantly is the easiest. So let me show you how to use this. So once you've created your Instantly, you basically just need the free trial, and you can actually use the free trial, take advantage of it, and then switch to another like sending platform, like Go High Level or something similar, which could be cheaper, right? So that's just a quick tip. But if you click Add New, you'll basically get this option. We're going to click on Microsoft. Obviously, if you did Google Workspace, you would do that one, but we did Microsoft. So now we need to enable SMTP. You don't need to know what it means. You just basically need to go to the actual domain, I think. So if we go to, or I don't think I actually can, I didn't get a Google Workspace. So let's just take like this one, for example. You'd basically click on it, go to Mail, go to Manage Email Apps, and you need to make sure all of these are ticked. And then once all of these are ticked, you're then just going to click Yes. And it's going to take you to this page where you basically just need to sign in to the actual email that you've created. And you do this each time for each domain, right? So you would basically just use another account. You would enter the email. You can very easily reset the password. So let's just take this email, for example. If we go here and just click on reset password, that is how you get the password to actually log in. And then once you've done that, you basically just, connect it to Instantly, and it will look something like this, where you basically just want to click on enable warm-up. This will obviously be paused if you do it, but you can see here that the health score should be about 97 and above, and Instantly actually have a support button, so you can always, if your emails do ever go to spam or you're not getting any responses, you can actually ask them to make sure that the DNS records are set up correctly. But yeah, you'll see that it'll look something like this, and you just want to wait 14 days, and you can actually see that, like this one, for example, 80 warm-up emails have been sent, you've received emails, it looks legit, and you can basically just start sending emails on Instantly, or you can switch to another one, as I said, which may be cheaper and the better option for you, actually, because I think Instantly is too expensive in my opinion. So yeah, that is how it works. If you enjoyed this video, just drop a like, subscribe. I'll probably cover actually email templates and how to actually write good copy for emails. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss that. So definitely subscribe. And I'll put a free course in the description. So if you want more value on how to scale without having to pay for anything, because I'm not about that, you can check that out. It's completely free. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll leave some videos up here that you can watch as well. So take it easy and have a great rest of your day.